And that's why I wrote a book called The Seed, the System and You. I can smell the pages, do you know what I mean? Oh, it's like a new book smell. What's going on, guys? It's Waithe here, and in today's video I thought I would just sit down and chat. So many things going on that it's nice to just sit down and just chat yourself. I mean, this is one of the times where I finally get to just, relax, because we've just moved into a new place, me and my partner. We have bought a place in the countryside. Now, I'm from London, so, I'm surrounded by fields, cows, sheep, birds, and I'm amongst nature. And it's very, 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 very peaceful. And that's what I love. The trade up for the city hustle and bustle life for a slower pace. I mean, I picked apples the other day from the bottom of my garden. Do you know what I mean? Apples. I had green and red apples that I could pick. But yeah, abundant, and I'm very grateful that we've moved in and everything's gone very blessed. And we've been painting the walls, we've got new furniture, a new TV. So yeah, things are going well and it's nice. So I thought I could finally get my YouTube videos going again. Not that I've really stopped, I do vlog, but the algorithm these days, it runs the world and it kind of dictates what people see, and people have shorter attention spans these days on TikTok. So the world's changed since I started YouTube 10 years ago, 10 plus years. I haven't really changed. I'm still sober, don't drink alcohol, and I'm vegetarian, so I've changed in those two ways. I live in a countryside. I'm entirely different, I guess. I'm entirely different, but that's a good thing. Over time you change, and certain things mold you into different people, and I'm just glad YouTube didn't mold me into someone I'm not, basically. I feel at some point, when I was younger, the excitement of it obviously made me an accelerated, eccentric version of myself. But now that I'm, I would say a little bit more grounded, and nearly turning 30, do you know what I mean? I started this when I was 16, and here I am, 28, still talking to the camera. So I do like the fact that I can continue to waffle on and it still makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I've got a few opinions, a few things I'd like to get off my chest for this video, and there's a lot of things to talk about, especially in the UK right now. If you live here, there's an elephant in the room. Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to tell you. The reason why I stopped uploading as much is because you fall out of love with a system that gets corrupted, basically. And when I was younger, I just liked uploading YouTube videos after college, and it was fun. There was no real outcome. I didn't really think of the outcome apart from the fact I enjoyed doing it in the moment. And once I start enjoying it, I start posting, and it does well, and people see it. And then when that ended up, videos of it going viral and stuff, I was obviously as confused as everyone else, as confused. Like, how did it happen? That's what I was thinking. And obviously I put hard work in it. The videos were good. But I went viral and I was young, so it's a wild thing to experience when you're that young. Anyway, so then going on a few years, it gets well, money gets involved, and then the environment you're in, just like any job, just starts getting a bit toxic. When there's money involved, people don't really care about the creativity a bit. They don't really care about how it started. You're in your bedroom and you're just waffling to a camera. That's how it all started. But now people have production teams and they're spending about 50 to 100 grand a video. Like, what's that about? I get that, spending money makes more money, but we've lost touch of why we started YouTube videos in the first place. We just sat down and we wanted to record. And there's too many politics in YouTube. Now everyone wants to fight. You can't even just disagree with someone without them calling you out for a boxing match. It's embarrassing. We should all just be chilling. And I don't want to, I keep going down these topics. But that's why I left, because there's such more peace, there's so much more peace outside of the environment that YouTube was. And obviously I love making videos for people, but I feel like the way we consume content's changed. I don't need to be the person churning out 50 videos a week for people. Whereas back in the day, there was a limited amount of us. So of course, people had their favorite YouTubers, but now hundreds of thousands of people make content every day for people. So I feel like there is enough content out there, for people to get by. So, like when I saw the entry into the system of YouTube and everything else, I just, I saw where it was going to go. And everyone used to ask me what would happen when it ends. And it's a good question, but that's not the right question, because it's never going to end. I mean, now the audience have wanted to become YouTubers and TikTokers, which is a great thing. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But it's a hard life. It's a hard world to live in. And you think, oh yeah, it's just about, it's not hard hours compared to a 9 to 5. But, the exposure of your whole life being online and the criticism and everything, everyone hawking you for a while, isn't a very nice place to be. So now that people are in it, they're understanding why, only a select few of us did it. Because it wasn't as easy as everyone thought. I mean, if you've tried TikTok and your views are low, if you tried YouTube and your views are low, you understand what the life's about. The game's hard. The game's very hard. And then obviously, like with the money game, you're getting paid after 30 to 60 days, if anything, So it's a stressful scenario to be in. And as I grew up, I got smarter and smarter, and I realised what I needed to do. Do you know what I mean? I needed to do something different. And I felt like these platforms, these companies, these middlemen, these agencies, these managers were all trying to leech off me and trying to get so much money off me. I had friends doing the same. I had people around me doing the same. It's boring. Do you know what I mean? It's back in the day, I was like, okay, people can have a piece of the pie because it's all exciting. Do you know what I mean? But now I'm very careful with who's in my area and who's in my space. And I don't even also, allow the internet to just be consumed by my life as well, because I want to have privacy. And I know people are like, well, YouTubers are meant to not have privacy because that's why they're YouTubers. Bro, if you did the same thing and then suddenly we're like, okay, this is a bit weird, you'd understand the steps, because it's way deeper than people originally thought. I mean, it's consumed the whole people's lives. People are live streaming all day, 24 hours a day, doing the weirdest things for money. And I knew it was going down a Black Mirror episode, and it's less human. It doesn't feel real. It feels like it's a different reality to what's true. So I had to escape from it, And I found myself finding the isolation and the lack of external validation something empowering rather than, disempowering, because I found my peace, and I found a way to live without having to wait for external validation to validate my existence. And that's a beautiful thing to find. It's hard to be a YouTuber and then not care about metrics and numbers, and there's so many YouTubers stuck in it now, just caring about numbers and what video bangs. And we're humans, man. We're not robots, like analytical robots. Everyone's like, all numbers. You fell off if you don't have that. Fell off what? We are creators, and if you can't create, then you literally just observing and watching the content. So there's no point even hating, because if you can't create, you're literally waiting for a video. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to appreciate that the art of being a creative, it takes a lot to do it. It takes a lot to create stuff amongst the noise of expectation. So I had to leave that game and then create my own and stay in my own path. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got my art. My art is good. I like expressing myself through my art. And I've also written a book. And this is where it all goes, is that you need to be able to have stuff other than just one thing in life. If you're a creative, you're not just doing one branch, you're not doing just one thing. You've got to be able to let your creativity splurge out over the world in different angles. So I had another viral video happen about 4 years ago, right? And it was a huge one. It suddenly had like 800,000 views in a week, and that paid me like £2,000 English. Do you know what I mean? And it's a nice way to live when you're making that sort of money. But I realized something. I was like, okay, this is coming at a weird point in time. And I realized during the Black Lives Matter movement, suddenly YouTube was promoting me even more. And these are just conspiracies, right? So I was like, okay, I don't want to play this game if it's going to be all political, and if I'm going to, my videos are only going to be pushed when I'm talking a certain way or saying a certain things. So I realized, as you grow, you want to be able to have your voice heard. You don't want to have to watch what you say and say it in certain ways. And the only way you can speak freely, and the only way I could say what I wanted to say and get my voice across, was to write. And the only thing I could come up with was writing a book. And that's why I wrote a book called The Seed, The System and You. Now, this is a lengthy book. I mean, it's got over, 30,000 words in here. And I just went at it on my phone, on my laptop, just writing for 3 years. And then I came up with it. And it sort of just emptied my brain, because always I've been judged online, you know, how many views I've got, how many subscribers I've got, how many followers I've got, how many brand deals I've got. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to be judged by anyone anymore. I can make my own, you know, truth be heard by writing a book, and people can obviously read it and judge me how they want, or judge it how they want. But that's not the point. It's the fact that I've already accomplished my goal, and that is writing a book. And it's here in physical form. I've read it, I like it, and I'm proud of it. And it isn't held down by algorithms or views or anything like that, or anything online. I feel like the online world's a bit cringe. And I'm not saying, the only thing about it that's good is connection, and you know, you can connect with people. But the other side of it is all fake. It's all like smoke and mirrors. So this book is all about planting new seeds in new systems, and it's literally about you. Now, if you don't understand what this means, like, what do you mean it's about me? And it's sort of like, if I was to be your best friend, this is sort of the words that I'd give you. And I kind of impromptu yourself. I try and give you nudges in new ways of thinking, and I hope it expands your perspectives based on mine. And I'm not going to say much, because this book sort of speaks for itself. So that's what I've also been doing for the last 3 years, is writing a book. Now, most YouTubers have ghostwriters. I can't be asked for my soul to have that sort of knowing that I didn't do it. You know, I did the hard work, and I know I did it, and I felt it when I did it. Like, there's no other than finishing a day and already like getting past a few chapters in your own book, and then reading it, and then seeing the physical copy. Like, I can smell the pages. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it's like a new book smell. This will be launched in winter. So you can join the waitlist that I've created. There's a link in the description, so you can get notified when this is out. But this isn't out right now, so you can't get it right this second, but you can join the waitlist. But yeah, this goes on to my next point, is a lot of audiences have been waiting for a lot of creators to fall, and I could feel it happening. Like, of course everyone loves everyone when they're on top and when there's new things happening, but I could feel the sense of the fall of influencers happening. And I didn't necessarily want to be a part of the bracket of something that I'm not, because I'm a creative, I'm a creator. I can't fall off anywhere. Like, I am literally, every day I'm gassed to create something. I don't need external validation for me to be happy or for me to create something. And I've known that for years, since I was young, and that's why I've always been successful. This is why I've written this book, is because I want to be able to help people and not be trapped in these systems. Because I know the online world's good if you've been doing 9 to 5 your whole life and now you're getting paid online. It's good to do, but remember, don't get trapped in that one. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a complicated thing to explain without sounding too... It's a complicated thing to explain without sounding too crazy. There's a lot to digest. I mean, I grew up in this internet game, and there was so much drama. There still is drama, and I can't be asked. If you lot can understand. I mean, like, I'm 28, got a girlfriend, we bought a house together. We're literally living nice, and there's no need to think that YouTube is the only way to live. I love making videos because I've always done it. I can't stop. Do you know what I mean? So if people have jumped onto this industry because they want money or views or attention, they're in for a long run. This is a long road. It's like 10 years now, and I've just got my house, and I'm just, at peace, and I'm sober, and I feel fresh. But that's because of the whole roughness of the start of this career. If anyone's followed me from the start, you'll know the journey. You'll know what this is entailed to get to this point. So it's not random I've got a book. It's not random I've got a house. Why wouldn't I? Like, it's been so long, and there's been so many of these YouTube creators that have so many investments from other people, and they seem larger than they are, but they're production companies now. They might as well, be with the networks now. They're no longer normal people. Do you know what I mean? They've lost their roots. They will sell their souls and their families away just for money and gain. Oh, this is why I'm blessed to be able to count my blessings. I pray a lot. I'm blessed. I feel the higher powers above us, and that's not me claiming to have found God, because I don't need to claim something that I already knew. But the main thing I want to do is be able to speak my truth, and I have so much to say, and I want to say it. I don't want this world to censor this outcome. Do you know what I mean? The UK exposed itself a couple of weeks back of how racist it is, and not all of the UK, but there's a lot of racism, and I've already seen that on the online world. I mean, you can imagine what some of these guys have been saying to me when they realize some of their creators are black. Do you know what I mean? When I was younger, a lot of these words were said all the time, and you have to block it. You have to sort of learn how to deal with it. And this is a lot of things that new creators are dealing with. The crowd's rough. The world's rough out there. Do you know what I mean? You got to survive. And this is why I move away to thrive and then come back. Like everyone was like, oh, where's the funny guy gone? I'm still funny. I'm still funny. It's just life was hard. Everyone went through a hard time, and now it's just life's different. Now I hope everyone's good out there though, because it is a different terrain. Like I don't know how to explain how different the world is from when I started this whole career. It's weird even talking to the mic, because most YouTubers can't talk about things. They're stuck in contracts. They're stuck talking about dumb stuff. It's boring. It's so boring. It's the most boring thing ever when you hear content creators not being able to tell the truth because the manager's behind them like, you can't say this. So this year I just want to get that authenticity back. You know, the one that got people to the channel in the first place. At the start of my YouTube channel, I was just waffling and saying my truth, and people resonated with it. And I'm going to have to continue that, because this world is crazy. And it's like a Rick and Morty episode made with Black Mirror. Do you know what I mean? We need to be able to have our own versions of truth being spoken without it being strange. It's hard taking a break off YouTube and not knowing what to say and what you can't say, because there's so many words you can't say. And that's why I just went offline for ages as well, because I just like being able to talk normal things without it being like pressurized or watched or listened to all the time. But yeah, so I've been good. I've been chilling. Life's good. I've got me and my partner have a business together, and it does really well. And I'm grateful for that, because it took a long time to get to the point. You have to, you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you have to wait some time for things to work out. You can have low points and then high points. It's like a wave, and you have to just ride it out and just wait and trust that it will work. And it worked, and it paid off. And it's happened a few times in my life. I mean, I've, you know, before YouTube, you know, I was doing musicals and football, and all of that entailed the same thing. You know, patience, trying to make it work out. If it doesn't, you have to adjust and adapt. And that's it, man. Guys, I am good, I'm blessed, and I'm grateful to just be able to carry on making videos. Like my whole thing was never going to stop. I'm still here making videos, so I've never stopped. You know, I'm going to continue for a while. Do you know what I mean? Even when I'm older, I want to be 90 making videos, just chatting. You know, I'm in competition with no one but myself, and that's what I love, is that I just feel this sense of peace knowing that I have no competition, just myself. It's beautiful. Do you know how bliss that is, to have competition with no one? And that's what my advice for people is to just let go of that ego and let it all just shine your way. Do you know what I'm saying? It's an easy life when you live like that. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to live life. And you should never let anyone try and take you down. The funny thing is, these days, as I've gotten older and as I've gotten sober, I care about the smaller things, and my priorities are completely changed. And it's nice when you feel your priorities have changed. Like, I like, you know, a slow morning rather than a fast morning. I like being able to, you know, do what I want to do and be my own boss. And that's what happens. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way I like life, and I want others to learn through what I've done over the years. You can see through my videos that I've evolved into this person I am today because I took these steps. And it's nice to be able to be here making videos. I find it funny that I'm still here chatting to a camera. But yeah, I do hope that everyone's grown up in a beautiful way. I mean, there's been some wild things that have happened. Even a viewer died in a crazy way that was on the news that I found out, and that shook me. And that made me think about YouTube again. We've all grown up, and we've all grown up online, and it's just strange that we're now here as the adult versions that we always, used to speak about. I've got a really nice allotment, like a plot on the allotment down there, and I really want to make YouTube videos, just slow pace, showing the veg. And I want to start next year because January is a good start, in the winter, just start getting the soil ready. But I've been growing so much veg, potatoes, carrots, parsley, mint, all of these, there's so many veg that we've been growing, and I've turned into a right farmer down in the countryside. It's just, honestly, Harry Potter, I understand it now. Do you know what I mean? I understand why they all lived in Hogsmeade. That's basically where I live. And I love it. I am really happy, guys. Do you know what I mean? To live in the countryside. If you've ever been to the countryside from when you lived in... oh my gosh, this thing keeps flattening out. If you haven't been to the countryside recently, get out there. It's very, very peaceful. And it's very nice to get away from the stress of London. I mean, there's been so many things going on, riots, everything. And, you know, things are going to balance out. I feel like things are changing, and I don't know how else to explain that. But yeah, it's been fun chatting to you all. I hope you all are doing well and you've enjoyed this little waffling session. It's going to be a nice process, slowly transforming this place. I mean, there's so many things we can, you know, so many ideas we can do. I've got the garage down there as well. So I just want this year I just want the end of this year and the next year to be about positivity and just showing what we can do and enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Enjoying our lives. I feel like we're all just being so negative and pressured and stressed and everything's going wrong, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, individually we have to get our balance back and get our ship straight. And then I want to show that, you know, sobriety as well is a good thing, a good choice. I mean, 2+ years of sobriety has changed my life, and I feel better for it. And I'll speak for it. I'll vouch for it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave it a cheeky thumbs up and share it around with your friends. And I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.